What a difference a week can make in international rugby. The All Blacks have bounced back in the most emphatic fashion to beat Argentina 42 points to 10. The most important statistic, they have now hit 50 tests unbeaten at Eden Park. So what I want to do in this video is break down the ways that the All Blacks played today that we can replicate against South Africa, England, Ireland, France. What are the keys to victory that can be repeated long after the adrenaline dump of defending our Auckland record has dissipated? Let's get to it, guys. Well, look, you never want to use the word perfect in rugby, but the first half by the All Blacks was certainly perfect from an attitude perspective. They came out like men possessed and played pretty much a flawless 40 minutes of rugby. The game was all but over at half time. The score was 35 points to 3. The Pumas looked down and out. But how exactly did we go from woeful in Wellington to wonderful in Auckland? It really started with the set piece. Now, the first test in Wellington was absolutely bizarre. There was not a scrum packed for the first hour of the game. In the end, there were only 4. I believe that's some kind of record for the fewest scrums in an international fixture. And while the Argies actually looked to shade us in the scrum, you just got the feeling it wasn't a big enough sample size to really analyze the two packs going head to head. My gut feeling was that if you had more scrums over the course of the game, the All Blacks would gain ascendancy. And that's exactly what happened here. Their scrum dominance flowed through to every physical aspect of the game, including their maul defense, which absolutely sapped Argentina time and time again, and their own rolling maul, which was a pretty destructive weapon, certainly pulled in the Argentina forwards and laid a foundation up front, earned the right for the ball to go wide. But it wasn't just the scrum that was looking good. Our lineout, which has been an Achilles heel this year, was firing on all cylinders for most of the game. And I want to give a big shout out to Tupou Vaa'i, still a relative newcomer. He was calling the lineouts. He did a majestic job in combination with Darry. These are young fellas who do not have a lot of caps, but they were playing like seasoned veterans, and it was beautiful to see. By the way, stick around to the end of the video. I've got a very special guest joining me here. You're going to want to see it. And if you're enjoying my commentary, please drop a like and perhaps even consider subscribing if you haven't. So the All Blacks set piece was holding up in the rain. And let's talk about the rain. You just got the feeling that it sharpened the senses of the All Blacks. Now, some people were thinking if it was going to be a total washout at Eden Park, that might help the burly Argentina forwards. But I just had a sense it was the All Blacks that were the ones licking their lips when the rain started teeming down. The All Blacks were able to really make some statement early hits on defense in midfield. This isn't the out to in defense that you see from England. This isn't the straight line rush defense you see from South Africa. New Zealand defends with a kind of arrow or umbrella defense. And I'll tell you what, the point of that arrow was absolutely nailing the Argentine players in midfield. They could not get any go forward ball in the first half. Really, it was about an hour before the Argentina players were able to stack up a few phases and really challenge the All Blacks defensive line. The defense just absolutely set the tone. And I think JK said it best on commentary. When you combine attitude with accuracy, you have a dangerous All Blacks team. And that's what we got here. A much more accurate performance from the men in black. And that clinical quality extended to their exit plays, which was absolutely their downfall last week. Now, what do I mean by exits? I'm talking about getting out of your own half and really, more specifically, getting out of your own 22 when the opposition is trying to pin you there. Last week, the All Blacks could not get out of their red zone. They were virtually trapped there by Argentina. They were having kicks charged down. TJ Perenara had 2 in a row. It was a bit of a horror show. Well, that all changed this week. I don't think Perenara really ever looked to clear the ball. He shot it out the back to Geordie Barrett or Damian McKenzie or Bowden Barrett. They did not try anything cute. They were not going for contestable kicks. They were not going for high bombs in their own half. They were plugging the ball down the field and saying, let's play in a more fruitful area of the pitch. Let's go for territory. Now, over the course of the game, the territory was basically even. But the second half really flattened out. Argentina had a lot more ball, a lot more possession, a lot more territory. They couldn't score many points with it, but that did skew the statistics more in their favor. If you look at the first half, really, the All Blacks were just keeping Argentina in their own 22, giving them a taste of their own medicine relentlessly. And that was truly the foundation for this victory. But I mentioned TJ Perenara, who was very maligned. I was one of the ones thinking that perhaps he should be replaced and we should give Cortez Ratama a start. However, in my preview for this match, I did touch on the fact that Razor was going to back TJ to fix the mistakes in his game. Someone as experienced as TJ knows where he needs to tighten up, and that he did. He had an absolute blinder. He played 50 minutes of superb rugby. A magical offload is one of the most memorable moments from the game. But really what I liked was just how he tightened up his distribution, how he tightened up his defense. So because the All Blacks were not getting trapped in their own half, they were exiting well, because they were able to gain territory in the wet conditions, and because they played with simplicity, not doing cheeky tap backs in their own half, not trying to score a try from their own goal line, they were able to impose relentless pressure. And because of that, they were able to assert themselves much more when they did kick. Let's talk about the kick chase. So much better this week. And sometimes that's the difference between a good kick and a bad kick. You got the feeling last week that Sever Reece, Anton Leonard-Brown, Mark Talea didn't quite lead that kick chase as you'd like. Well, this week, Razor reshuffled his backline. He brought in Will Jordan on the right wing. He brought in Caleb Clark on the left wing, and he also reinstated Rico Ioane at center. And what that did was gave you real pace and accuracy when it came to the kick chase. There was so much good work being done off the ball. So kicks from McKenzie that were probably 50-50 last week, now they were a genuine attacking weapon. And in fact, it was the relentless line speed in the first half that caused Argentina to cough up the pill, leading directly to an All Blacks try. If we can replicate that kind of line speed when we're chasing down attacking kicks, we're going to do much better against South Africa and the Northern Hemisphere sides. If we don't chase kicks hard, we're just handing possession to the other team. And I'll tell you what, they will be more than happy to kick back and pin us down in our own territory and squeeze us. So we need to keep that kick chase up. And I think the back three looked really good this week. Now, you did wonder why Mark Talea, who's an out-and-out winger, was on the bench. It always seems like a luxury to have a winger on the bench, but we saw with about half an hour to go, Razor reshuffled his back line, and you had Jordan finally going to fullback and Beauden Barrett going to 10. And there was a little bit of a, okay, I see what you're doing here moment. This is possibly what Razor has wanted all along. He wants Jordan at the back, and it did look promising. Beauden Barrett ran the cutter well in the second half, but really the damage was done in the first half, and we do need to give plaudits to Damian McKenzie, one of his best games at 10, as I said. And not just that, he kicked 6 out of 6 with his conversions. That's pretty impressive. A lot of them were from wide out. That really kept the scoreboard pressure ticking over. And look, you got the feeling last week that we were good enough to beat Argentina if we had kept that scoreboard pressure up. The problem was we sort of shot ourselves in the foot, let them back into the game before and after half time, and then we just couldn't get a roll on. What you saw this week was that if we can get momentum, get a foot on the throat, we're somewhat unstoppable, at least at Eden Park anyway. So that brings me to the most important question. Was this just a classic back against the wall performance by the All Blacks, doggedly defending their Eden Park record, or was there something here that gives us hope for bigger games to come? I'm a little bit 50-50. I think the jury is still out. And the All Blacks realized this. Ardie Savea actually gave a fantastic post-match interview. He said, look, we're stoked with the win, but we shouldn't be relying on defending our Eden Park record to get up. We shouldn't need a smack to sharpen our senses and get us playing with accuracy. So I think the boys realized last week really wasn't good enough. That loss will continue to linger despite the fantastic bounce back this week. And I think some of the young boys have realized how bone deep they need to go with their preparation every single week for the All Blacks, how professional their standards need to be if they're going to keep on winning. Because all you need is one lousy preparation week and you're going down to a heavy loss to South Africa or Ireland or France. So I'm hoping that this split series with Argentina is going to be really valuable learning for the young fellas. And look, in many ways, as great as this performance was, I think last week probably taught the bigger lessons to this young team. And I got a special guest I want to bring in. My mum, who lives in Sydney, Australia, is visiting me here. I live in Portland, Oregon in the United States. She came all the way up to visit me. Let's see what she thought of the game. All right, come on into the hot seat. I'm so happy to have you here. This is my mum. diehard All Black fan, obviously. It runs in the family. My dad is too, as you guys know. You've seen some viral videos with him. But tell me, gorgeous, it's a happier week this week, isn't it?
So much happier.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
Yeah.
What a difference a week makes.
What a relief.
Yeah.
So what did you like most about that performance?
The first half.
Yeah. I mean, it was close to perfect, wasn't it?
It was spectacular.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, it just restores every bit of faith that you have. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah, but and the faith, look, it was a bit shaky. I mean, people were saying, that they would win convincingly. I wasn't sure. I thought it would be very tight, especially in the rain.
Yeah, and in fact, it's surprising it wasn't tighter.
Yeah.
Given the result last week, but boy, that was convincing.
Yeah, and I think, I was talking about the scrums and the lineouts. Yeah. They looked awesome, and it all starts up front in rugby.
It does.
Okay, so the $1 million question, how are you feeling about the Springboks?
Yeah, well, that is a different story.
Yeah, different story.
Let's be realistic. They are wonderful. The Springboks are a tremendous team.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's equal.
Yeah.
I really do. I think after today...
No, after today. I mean, after last week, definitely not.
Yeah.
After today, you got some hope that we can take on the Springboks.
For sure.
We're going to play them twice in South Africa. I'm going to stick to my prediction that we're going to split it and win one each. And honestly, I think that would be a good result for this team if we can get one win in South Africa.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
But let's not worry about South Africa now. Yeah. Let me ask you just one more question. We've been watching the All Blacks as a family, my whole life. Yeah. What's your favorite All Black game or memory that we've had together?
Oh wow!
It's a hard one.
Okay, I've got it. 2015.
Oh yes.
I mean, the culmination.
Yep.
That was so beautiful, so amazing, and watching it together.
Yeah, we were there in London. We watched the World Cup final on a big screen.
It was just the most fabulous experience. It really was. I mean, I don't think I've ever been so rugby excited in my entire life.
It was one of the happiest moments of my life. And
it was great.
If you're a Kiwi, you'll understand that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having a cameo. We're going to get you back up here again.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll fly up anytime.
Thank you guys for watching. Now, and should they like and subscribe?
I think you should definitely like and subscribe. I mean, this guy just is wonderful. He's my son, but hey.
She's a little biased.
I'm a little biased, but boy, he's very knowledgeable.
I've been watching it, and I'll tell you, I learned so much from you and Dad. So anyway, I think I grew up with a nappy with an All Blacks logo on it. But
you did?
Oh, well, that explains it all. Guys, love you. I'll see you very soon. South Africa next. Yeah. I think we can do it. Let's go the All Blacks, but we're much happier this week. Mwah. Thank you, Razor Robertson. You've restored our faith. I'll catch you for another one real soon. See you guys. Bye.